Hello everyone, welcome. I want to make a little tutorial about how to install and play our mod. Just kind of the most optimal way to enjoy it because I do see a lot of common issues with just modding in general where people will say, oh, they're missing assets, they're missing textures, some things aren't downloading properly, some crash, like if you get a crash it says, oh, this and this is missing. I want to address some of those issues here just to kind of get out of the way because we did put a lot of hard work into this and we want you, the people, to enjoy it as much as possible, get the best experience out of it. So I figure I'd go ahead and make a video to try to prevent some of those issues, just to try to do a quick overview of everything. So for our mod, obviously, just have to go download it. If you should have Galaxy at War already, so you should be kind of familiar with the Steam Workshop. It's incredibly easy. You just find, just find it and just click subscribe. It should be in most recent. Hopefully, it's up in most popular and then up here, but it should be somewhere here by the time we release it. So it's not released yet. So let me go here, and it's going to look something like this in the top left corner. This is going to be like our thumbnail, and obviously it's going to be a little better looking. So the only requirements for this is you just want to need Galaxy at War. Obviously, that's going to be our base mod. It'll tell you if you don't have it installed or not. I don't have the requirement yet, but we're going to place the requirements, so it lets you know to subscribe to Galaxy at War if not already. And this is going to be where our first issue kind of comes up, where a lot of people, they don't let the mod fully download. So that's why they're missing like all these assets. They can't see it in the directory, or it causes some crashes. So the first kind of way to prevent it is just make sure the mod fully downloads. So you see here, just click subscribe. You'll see here at the bottom, there's going to be like a loading bar. So what a lot of people do is, they get very excited. They just want to break into something new, play it. So they'll click subscribe, they'll close their window, and they'll find the executable, and they just open it. They double click it and it opens a game. And they're like, oh, where's the mod? That's because you didn't let it fully download. So just make sure it fully downloads first. You'll see here, it's because on the desktop you could open the app and it will just open automatically. But here in the desktop you see it won't let me open it because it has to download it first. So just look in your Steam library and you'll see it, and just make sure it fully downloads. You'll know when it's ready because it will just let you play. So that's the first issue, or the first common error that happens that causes these missing textures, missing units, certain crashes to occur. And now the second issue is a memory issue, where a lot of people, I already have it pulled up here. I recorded this like 5 times. Hopefully I get it on this one. But yeah, a lot of people, they don't have enough space. So to see if you have enough space, go, open your files, click on this PC. Yeah, most people will have one drive. I have 2 drives. Hopefully you know which one it's downloaded on. I think by default it should be on Windows C, but for me I have it on my D drive. So whichever drive you have it on, it should be blue. Ideally, it should always be blue. You should never get a warning. It should never be in the red. If it's in the red, it means you're on low memory. So this should ideally be blue. If it is red though, like you're kind of pushing it, you don't have a lot of space. Because it'll tell you at the bottom, I have 402 gigabytes free. I have plenty of space. But if it's in the red and you don't have a lot of space, after you download Galaxy at War and download our mod, it should be, I would say, aim to have at least 1 gigabyte free. If it says 0, it's where there's a chance there could be issues, because it rounds up. Like even here, it says 1.81. It doesn't get to the. Oh, that's just my drive. But you see, it just rounds up to like the biggest number. Like it doesn't say specifically. So if it's ever at 0 and you're experiencing issues, it's probably a memory issue. You probably don't have enough space to download it, because it will fully download here if you don't have enough space. But the reason why it could finish is because there's just simply not enough space, so it just downloads what it can, and then it just calls it complete even though it's not complete. So make sure, ideally, these should be blue. If not, if it's in the red, just at least have 1 gigabyte of space left over to ensure that it fully downloaded. Of course, though, sometimes the workshop isn't perfect. Sometimes you can get a bad download. So if you get an issue with opening it and you made sure it's fully downloaded, you have enough space, just unsub and resub to it. You might have to do it a few times if you're really unlucky, because faulty downloads are still possible with the workshop. But yeah, those are the most common issues I see. And so now I want to show you kind of how to properly play our mod, or not properly play it, but kind of to get the best experience. So let me open Men of War. And then after you download our mod's pretty, it's not the biggest, but it's not small. It's roughly over a gigabyte in space. So at this section, you see mounting mod resources from Steam Workshop. That process could take a little bit long. It depends on your PC. Could be maybe 5. I think the longest I've seen is maybe 20 minutes. If it's your first time downloading, this should go relatively fast for me. I already have the mod installed. So don't be alarmed if you're at that screen for a long time, especially as your first time downloading like a big mods, because that's just a comment. It has to mount the resources from the workshop, so that could just take a while. So here, make sure it's checked off, subscribed, so you know it's fully downloaded. Now go to mods. Assumingly you have Star Wars Galaxy at War already enabled. So for this mod, we intend it as a single player experience. Obviously you can use the editor still, but we intend this was made with single player campaign in mind. So for the single player campaign, if you want to get the best experience, the only way we can guarantee the best experience is if you only have Star Wars Galaxy at War and then our mod activated. Obviously, I'm not saying to delete your mods, because look, I have a bunch of mods installed. I just have them deactivated. So just deactivate everything but Galaxy at War, and then activate ours. So when we look at Star Wars Empire Chapter 1. So move it over, and then apply. And then you can restart your PC. You shouldn't need to, but like if you have some issues, maybe something's missing, you could always restart. Just exit out and put back in, but it should work off rip. If you don't have Galaxy at War, so Galaxy at War should always be activated first. So let's just say you had like something else like Bitbo or like or some other non-Star Wars mod installed or activated. So make sure in order for a mod to work properly, you have to have Galaxy at War applied first. And then ours. The reason why you have to do it like this is because we have some stuff that has to override Galaxy at War. The only way it can override Galaxy at War if the Galaxy at War is present first, and then our mods can like kind of take over some stuff. So again, this is to guarantee the best possible experience for you. And then if you want to play the single player campaign, we highly recommend you don't play it in the editor. We have certain game functions that only work if you play it inside of the game, like an actual video game. Like, yeah, it's kind of unheard for Galaxy at War, but we intend this to be played like an actual video game. We have a lot of new cool features we think you'll like. I won't spoil them here. But basically, to play a single player campaign, just single player, select mission. And we took the liberty of taking out the World War II stuff. It was just like a bunch of, random like crap that's not needed for a Star Wars experience. So we kept the base Galaxy at War missions, and then we have ours at the very top, Hidden Empire. And then you're going to see our list. These are going to be locked. They're unlocked for me just because I played it already. But Prologue, Training Day, those are the first ones. You can start here or you can start here. They're both open to whatever you like. Okay, so that's how we recommend playing it. Obviously, for editor, if you want to play with the editor, you have other stuff installed, obviously. I'm not saying, just only play our mod. But for the single player experience, to guarantee you get the best, the most immersive experience that we can provide, just have these two installed. We do have editor stuff. There's a lot of, I want to make a second video to showcase showcase what we add. But yeah, I would say it's compatible with other Star Wars submods with caution. I know Galactic Frontier is a very popular one that adds a lot of new units, so I don't see a reason why they would not be compatible, but we can't guarantee that it will be stable. But if you just want to play in the editor, play with our factions, and play with any other submod, yeah, you go ahead. But for the single player experience, we recommend only having these two. Alright, and then, oh yes, almost forgot. One more very big issue that you might encounter is you might get a crash, and if the crash's allocation memory failed, then you might not be able to play our mod. Unfortunately, we do push the limits of the gem engine a lot in this one. We have a lot of big maps, a lot of nice units, a lot of new skins, textures. So I would say, even though Men of War is an old game, it's on a 32-bit engine, it's not a very hard one to run. But I would say the minimum requirement would be probably a GTX 980 graphics card and an i5 and a processor. That's why I was able to run it on that. EBT has a bit of a lower PC. I mean, I have a new one that has like a 3060, but I know for a fact I was able to run it on my own old Alienware, and then EBT tried to run it on his old laptop, and I think he had like a bit um, lower graphics card and a lower processing unit, and he wasn't able to run it at all. He couldn't run our mod. So I would say, because I know it was choppy, but at least it ran. So I would say that would be the minimum requirement. I would say you need at least a dedicated graphics card and at least a solid CPU. If you don't, unfortunately, if you just have a normal laptop that has integrated graphics and not a dedicated graphics card, you won't be able to run our mod, unfortunately. If you get that memory, I forgot what it is, like allocation memory failed, something like that. If you do get that issue, try lowering your graphics, just try lowering your graphics, and if it doesn't work after that, then unfortunately it just probably won't work on your PC. But yeah, we hope you enjoy. We did put a lot of hard work into this, so we hope you really, really enjoy it. A lot of heart and soul went into this, a lot of work. And this is only chapter 1. We do have 2 more chapters planned for this campaign. We'll make a second video just to showcase some stuff, but yeah, thank you. We'd hope you enjoy.